In this video, people ask us all the time, what do we eat? So we're going to talk about what is the Sherwood meal plan. We get asked all the time, what do we eat? And even so, sometimes we say, would you eat this? Or we even hear comments like, I bet you wouldn't eat this. So we're going to take a few minutes to give you some of our own guidelines on how we eat every day. They're not that complicated. They're really pretty simple. And if you'll follow these guidelines, and there's 9 or 10 of them, you'll find out that you'll get on the right track with your nutrition plan. And you do just exactly what we do. It's general principles that go for everyone. So Dr. Michele is going to start off with number 1. It's a really cool way to look at this.
Well, we basically avoid the standard American
Die.
because it's going to make you feel like you are going to die or want to die. So number 1 is we choose foods that are plant-based, that are as organic as possible. We strive for a carbohydrate base that is 80% low glycemic. That means coming from green vegetables. I know most people don't like to eat green vegetables because for some reason they've either got an odd taste or texture. It's like eating fur, but kale is good for you. Also things like organic sweet potatoes, plant-based, things like of that nature. We want them to be low glycemic.
Glycemic index is key. If you're wondering about the glycemic index, go to our website right now and you can download a copy of the glycemic index for free, so use that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is this. We search for sustainably raised and grass-fed meat. Now, when you're looking for meat, the best way to look for meat is try to find local farmers with beef that has been grass-fed and grass-finished. Sometimes you can go to the grocery store and look in the sections, in the meat sections, you'll find things that says grass-fed, grass-finished, or even hormone-free. The best way to look at it is just get online in your local area, wherever you are, and just Google or type in local farm-raised or local sustainable meat, and you'll find many, many opportunities out there. So that's really important. We don't want to have meat with a lot of antibiotics and a lot of hormones.
What else? How about eating good fats? Don't be afraid of fat. Did you know that your brain is 60% fatty acid material? And you need to consume good omega-3 fatty acids. Things like avocados, coconut oil, olives, olive oil. Those good fatty acids are like changing oil in the engine of your car. And the standard American die. It is very full of omega-6s, which are inflammatory, and they inflame the system. So if we start to change the oil in the engine of our car, we take down inflammation. So lots of good omega-3s.
And she hit on the next one. We really avoid excessive amounts of omega-6s. So when you get too much omega-6, it throws off that omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. So just like Dr. Michele said, we try to avoid the inflammatory omega-6s like canola, sunflower oil, corn, and even soybean oil.
The other thing we like to do, or we make sure that we do, is we avoid grains as much as possible because grains contains things like phytates, lectins, things that irritate and aggravate the gut. We keep grains to a cup or less a day, and we keep them to things like quinoa, sweet potatoes, some long grain wild brown rice. We'll go for those types of low glycemic index carbohydrates that are grain-based.
We also limit dairy. We shoot for like goat cheese if we want cheese, but this is very important because the homogenation and pasteurization processes can cause a lot of contamination. So we stay away from that.
Get those refined flours out. That means whole wheat refined flour. It may say it's healthy on the label, but it actually has a very high glycemic index to it, and we know that grains can aggravate the digestive tract. So we get grains out, O-U-T.
And use stevia or xylitol as sweeteners. Avoid sugars and artificial sweeteners at all costs. Stevia and xylitol are always available at your local grocery store.
Get the pesticides out, meats that are full of antibiotics, hormone-fed, additives, preservatives. Think about all of those things that go into your GI tract, into your intestinal system. Your whole body has to see that. That means your liver has to see it, your kidneys have to see it, your brain has to see that. Think about your brain on pesticides, GMOs, genetically modified foods, hormones, etc. Not so good.
So there you have it, the Sherwood meal plan. It's M&M without the sugar meal plan. Enjoy.